Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the show that was originally going to be called Bestiality until I was outvoted.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, nobody likes my intros, but I'm Ken. I'm with Neal, Jeff, and Matt today. How
Matt's
you guys
here.
doing?
Hooray.
Yeah, Matt's here. How's it going, Matt? How you feeling?
Oh, you know, it's been a while.
It's been a while since you've been on an episode.
Been a while.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah.
What song is that? Who is that again? Stained.
Stained, yeah.
Yeah. Right, Jeff?
What?
No, wait, that's the original program. I'm sorry.
What are you talking
Yikes.
about?
Might be a joke too far, Neal.
Yeah.
A first for this show, but yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to.
You could just bleep it. It was bleeped.
No longer want to hold my head up high.
But it hasn't been a while since we had our guest on the program. It's Erin Barclay again. How you doing?
Hello, I'm still good.
Always happy to have you, of course.
Always happy to be here.
Is this the first instance of the Five Timers Club that we've made allusion to before?
Oh.
Perhaps, including bonus episodes. You might be well beyond 5 times.
I've been on at least 5 now, right?
You don't count. You're what we call one of the regular players.
Oh, yeah,
so.
yeah. Gotcha.
So I guess Aaron chooses. Should we do a jacket? Should we do some sort of brooch, bracelet, necklace? What do you think?
A brooch. I like it.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Tennis
Yeah.
bracelet.
I trust your judgment. I don't know why, but I
That
do.
is a mistake.
Yeah, I would not do that.
Well, in addition to being a Patreon supporter, Erin is, of course, the co-host of the Sports Trivia Face-Off podcast.
True.
Is that a lead-in?
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of work over there, Ken.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm doing the heavy lifting here. But we also wanted to thank our Patreon supporters. We did hit our goal. There was some talk on the crop of doing a special rules reading when we hit that goal. So here it is. Without further ado, the brand new rules guy.
Hi, I'm Gilbert Gottfried. Triviality Podcast is 2 rounds of 20 questions worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there's a special swing round by this week's host. In the final round, players wager points they've earned for a chance to become the cream of the crop.
I am the cream, the cream of the crop.
Yeah, thank you, Gilbert, for
Yeah.
that.
Thank you, Gilbert. That was, in fact, Gilbert
Don't let our
Gottfried.
trade secrets go.
Special thanks to crop member Nicole Newlist. When we had the poll that Matt put up, she was the one who suggested Gilbert and that ended up winning. Yeah, as Ken said, though, and Jeff can reiterate as well, but thank you so much to all our patrons who are new and who've been with us this whole time to help us reach that goal that we had. It means a lot, and we do this... We do this because we love it, but it also helps that we have people who enjoy us and support us, and it makes it that much sweeter. Right, Jeff?
Yeah, we wouldn't make the show for 5 people, at least not weekly. It's a lot of work. So we're really fortunate that we can do that, and it's only because of our patrons that we can continue to do that. And if you can join us on Patreon, we would really appreciate it. We send people a little bit back in thank you via bonus episodes and stickers, and there's too many things. I'm not going to run down the whole list, but that's basically it. That's the support of the show, and we wouldn't do it without you. So
Yeah, the Macho Man sticker's pretty great. If it's on all of our laptops, I love it.
Yeah.
Should be on
And
yours,
I
too.
do want to mention that Darren has not been fired.
No.
We will still have the Darren rules reading, and we'll just probably sprinkle Gilbert Gottfried in every now and again as a special treat.
Yeah, it's a little special amuse-bouche for episodes that we think deserve
we'll
it.
see how
Yeah.
we're feeling, if we're feeling a little spicy that day, you know?
Ooh, I like it. Yeah,
Or
a
if the
little
episode's
spicy.
boring, we could use it as window dressing.
Just bring Gilbert in to spice things up.
Yeah.
All right, so the teams today are going to be me and Neal.
Yeah, that's correct.
And Jeff and Matt. And I think we wanted to do a wager today, right?
Wager time.
Ooh, wager.
Jeff's not confident in my ability, but
I'm not confident in my ability. I have full confidence in you, Matt. You've been rested. You've barely been
Yeah.
on the show. I feel like you've got this.
I've been studying.
Neal's been going through our suggestions, right?
Yeah, so we have a few more that you all mentioned on Patreon, but one that was, I believe, maybe the first one mentioned from our listener and Patreon supporter, Chris Eve, was hug to the tune of "Take My Breath Away" from Top Gun for the entirety of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're gonna have to hug and.
Yes, my guess is you'll have to hug. This is torture for me. I hate to be touched, so let's. It's just.
And it's even worse if it's me.
Yeah.
So this is not going to end well, possibly.
All right. So in honor of the wager, let's pick team names of different romantic ballads. So what romantic ballad do you guys want to be, Matt and Jeff?
I hadn't considered it. Bailamos by Enrique Iglesias.
That is
Bailamos?
That is Iglesias, right?
Yeah.
What do you want to be? Cherry Pie by Warren?
Well,
All right, teams Bailamos and Cherry Pie by Warren.
I would win for Hot for Teacher, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're both romantic. We're fine.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, without further ado, right? We
Yep.
say that sometimes. Let's throw it to Erin for the start of the game.
All right. I want to lead into this by saying I have been working on this game on and off for a while, and I apologize to Dustin Resch. I did not take this idea from him, but it did line up with the game he hosted for you guys a while ago now.
Well, we've already forgotten about it then.
It's all Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I wish. I'm not quite as clever as Dustin, but this was a cool way to sort of focus my focus where I was going.
All right.
So, round one, question one, category is That's Great. It starts with an earthquake. The Quake is a story that describes a great earthquake and the earth bearing witness to the actions of men. The Quake is the English translation of the 99th chapter of what ancient book?
Did you just write Quake?
No.
Okay.
I know what he wrote.
Okay. I've played Quake. Does that help?
We're going to lock in.
Is that what
Oh.
you decided to go with then?
Yeah, I think so.
The
Yeah.
Quran?
I think it might be. Yeah, the Quran has more than 100 books or chapters, so
Okay.
I feel that might be our right answer.
Okay, we're going to lock in with the Quran.
As did we.
Nice job. It is, in fact, the Quran. Off to a strong start.
Yay.
How confident were you before he said that?
That's what I was
Oh,
going
Well, I threw Tuesdays with Morrie at Ken, and he said no. So
Only got like 4 chapters. He like meets Morrie. He talks to him for a while. Morrie dies.
Whoa, spoilers.
And then he
Oh,
gets
spoilers.
Then he
Yeah.
gets sad.
wait,
So-
and you're telling me that they don't meet on Tuesdays? What is this?
I mean, after a while, they don't.
Well, they find out who the father is.
And then chapter 5 is when they puppet Morrie's body all around and pretend he's still alive.
Jonathan
Just
Silver.
to borrow his
and-
week.
Just the weekends, yeah.
Yeah.
Weekends.
Summer house.
the old band's back together. Matt's here. All right.
Question two, category is birds. The two main characters in The Birds connect in a pet shop when Mitch Brenner is seeking to purchase a pair of what monogamous species of parrot for his sister's 11th birthday?
2 questions about books. Don't like it.
It's a movie, Matt.
Well, that's bad news for me.
Do you know?
Bad news books.
No, it'd be a guess at this point.
All right, we're locked in.
Okay, all we need to think about is how many bird species do you know
I
that
was gonna
made
say
for life?
Macaw.
I weirdly thought maybe turtle dove. Maybe they're
Okay.
like not named correctly.
2 turtle doves, like in Home Alone 2.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
The correct movie we should be thinking about
You're
here.
right.
Maybe they're parrots or something else. I don't know. Can you think of any other bird species that mate basically exclusively?
Penguins.
Penguins as
Penguin. As
Penguin.
Do you think penguins are parrots? Is that what we're going for?
I thought a macaw is definitely a parrot, isn't it?
yeah.
Or is it a different kind of bird?
It's a
It might be a
casino.
parrot.
It's a casino town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be a parrot. I
All
don't know.
right. Well, then let's lock in with it because I don't know.
Okay. You don't like turtle doves?
I don't like turtle doves.
Okay.
I don't think it's a parrot.
Fine. I will defer to Matt. We'll go macaw.
Okay.
I believe macaws are parrots. I don't know if they're monogamous, but I believe the ones that you always see in pairs are cockatoos, cockatiels.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we went with.
You may see cockatoos or macaws in pairs, but the answer is lovebirds.
Oh.
Even easier than we thought.
Oh, Hitchcock.
Yep.
With your
Yeah.
symbolism there.
Little on the nose, if you ask me, actually.
My apologies. Category 3, snakes. An adder is a specific type of venomous snake. Blackadder is the eponymous character on a series of BBC pseudo-historical sitcoms. What Englishman who briefly pursued a PhD in electrical engineering before turning to comedy played Edmund Blackadder?
We're locked in.
Okay.
All right, so there's 2 guys I know are on this show, Rowan Atkinson and Hugh Laurie. Which one do you think?
Oh shoot. You're right. They're both on that show.
Let's go with Rowan Atkinson.
That sounds right.
All right.
If it was a medical degree, we're going to go with Hugh Laurie.
I don't know what I was going to go with, but
No.
if it sounded right, I was going to go with my gut.
Yeah, widely known for being one of the quietest comedians because he's a huge physical comedy guy. I know he has at least a master's in some engineering field, so we said Rowan Atkinson.
And it is Rowan Atkinson.
Yay.
Question 4, category is an airplane. The Wright brothers are generally credited with the invention of the airplane. For 5 points. According to its license plates, state quarter, and tourist information, what state was first in flight? For your second 5 points, which state's quarter dubs it the birthplace of aviation pioneers? In addition to being the home state of the Wright brothers, this state boasts some truly out-of-this-world natives.
All right, so we are locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So I see, Neal, you've written down South Carolina and Ohio.
Ohio, yeah.
I think it was North Carolina and Ohio.
Yeah, North Carolina does sound a little bit better now that you say that. I'm trying to picture the license plates. I'm fine changing it to that. But
Okay.
is Ohio correct?
I think so.
I think so, too.
All right, we're going to go North Carolina and Ohio.
Mm-hmm. I think it was Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
And the Ohio in question, I'm pretty sure they feature an astronaut on the back of their state quarter. So I believe the out-of-this-world person was Armstrong. Was he from Ohio?
I don't know.
That's correct.
So, yeah, we said North Carolina and Ohio.
That is correct. I play tested this game with my regulars on Thursday night. The North Carolina one was a total gimme for us, but I thought it might play a little harder with you guys, but it did not. Yeah, North Carolina and Ohio. In addition to the Wright brothers and Neil Armstrong, John Glenn was also born in Ohio.
Okay.
And the joke is they were so ashamed to be from there, they had to go to space, and it was still not far enough away. Ohio.
That's funny. Take that, Ohio.
Number 5, category, Lenny Bruce is not afraid. In fact, he fearlessly took to the stage with comedy routines that integrated satire, politics, religion, sex, and such vulgarity that in 1964 he was convicted of obscenity. In 2003, New York Governor George Pataki took what alliterative action on Lenny Bruce's behalf? It was the first time this particular thing had been done in New York State.
Ooh. Alliterative action.
Okay, I think we're going to lock in over here.
Yep.
Posthumous pardon.
Oh, I like
He
that.
was pardoned after he died.
Okay.
Yeah, we went with the very, very short-lived professor of the Defense Against the Dark Arts in Harry Potter, posthumous pardon.
It was posthumous pardon.
All right.
You guys are killing it.
Crushing the game so
So
far.
after 5, I think cherry pie over here, 4 out of 5. So we got 40 points. What about you guys?
Same.
Yep, dancing our way to 40.
All right, tied at 40. All right.
All right, number 6, Eye of the Hurricane. The 2006 Stanley Cup final was between the Carolina Hurricanes and what Western Conference team who were making their first final appearance since their Cup win in 1990. If it helps, this matchup was, as of this recording, the only Stanley Cup final to feature 2 former World Hockey Association franchises.
I should know this offhand, but I don't.
That was what I was hoping.
I'm just skipping around in the corner over here. All this was foreign to me.
Neil's doing jump rope.
Maybe.
Did not expect the hockey question to be the buzzsaw. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, who'd they become?
No, they're still there. They're just really bad now. Okay, they're locked in. So 90, 91 starts. I think it's when Pittsburgh was in those Stanley Cups. And if it's the Red Wings, I don't think so because they're an original 6 team, so it's not them. I kind of like the Oilers. So I think we could lock in with that. I don't think it's right, but we're locked in with the Oilers.
I did put the Oilers, but then I crossed it out and put the Flames ultimately.
right.
But I really don't know, to be honest. This was a little bit before I started getting into hockey.
And yeah.
So the Flames did go to the final in 2007 and lost to the Lightning. The answer to this question, though, was the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
Why did I cross it out, Neal? Tell me.
I don't know.
Tell me why.
90 was the last Gretzky year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I crossed
That
it
made
out
sense.
because I need a hug.
That's true.
Number 7, Listen to Yourself Turn. Phonograph records were patented in 1857 by Leon Scott. 120 years later, a pair of records made of what material were launched into space? In an act of interstellar hopefulness that Carl Sagan compared to launching a bottle into a cosmic ocean.
Why would you say that?
They were at least plated with that.
Oh, you know this.
Yeah.
Okay, well then lock in. Wasting my
Oh,
time.
I thought it was one of those stories.
We are locked in.
No,
Oh, you're
okay,
looking-
yeah. So
I put
Are they
ash. I put
gold?
ashes, but
Are
I
they
thought it was
gold or are they? It would have to be hard and durable.
so not
right?
vinyl. Yeah.
Titanium
Or maybe it just needs to be atomically stable
or stable
for a long period
I thought
of
this
time.
was one of those weird stories where they were made of ashes and they like threw them in space or whatever.
No. These are to
That's what I'm saving all my money
to bump into aliens.
Oh,
That's what they're trying
So
to
they
do.
could play on their gold-plated phonographs.
Be like,
on
what the
Rigel
hell is
7.
this? Yeah. Let's go with gold.
gold. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if they were plated or completely made of it, but I'm pretty sure these are gold, so in some capacity.
I believe they were entirely gold, but gold is the answer in any event.
Gold.
To be one. Haven't had a chance to dust that reference off for a while.
I love it.
Number 8, world serves its own needs. With a troposphere that transitions smoothly into its liquid interior, which planet in our solar system has the densest atmosphere? Inhospitable clouds are arranged in bands at different latitudes, and conflicting circulation patterns cause turbulence and storms, including one anticyclonic storm that is reasonably famous.
Yeah, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. I always do this. I write a planet down, and I look at Jeff, and he shakes his head.
You're good.
We're good.
So the Big Red Eye is a famous storm
Okay.
on Jupiter.
Yeah, Jupiter is pretty dense, right?
Yeah, it's a gas planet,
Okay.
but I guess it does fit the question. I know Venus is pretty inhospitable too in that way, but let's go Jupiter. I guess.
The runaway greenhouse is not kind to that planet.
Yeah, let's go.
That's us in like 100 million years.
Yeah, let's go Jupiter.
Jupiter. Okay.
Not with climate change. It's like 50 years.
Right. So we're getting there. But I figured, this is a reference to the Great Red Spot, which cosmically we're very fortunate because it's going away. We'll long be dead before it goes away. But
Good to know.
I have a great red spot that I need to get checked out too.
I'll give it a look.
but only if
Maybe when we're hugging,
Yeah.
you can take a look.
Just be shirtless and I'll just be peering into the red spot.
It's a
But,
different kind of video.
it is.
No, that's the brown spot.
This is
we'll
what our
look at the red
Patreon
spot.
videos are. And so this is we said Jupiter.
It is Jupiter.
In conclusion, we said Jupiter.
Yes, let's move on. Number 9. Don't misserve your own needs. Late last year, organizers of the Consumer Electronics Show withdrew an award from a female-run company called Laura DiCarlo for conflicting reasons. Some people said the product violated an immorality clause. Some just say the product didn't fit into an approved category. What type of products does Laura DiCarlo make, and for what market does she make them?
I think we're good. I just have to figure out how I'm going to explain it, but I know what it is. So
All right, we're locked.
Oh, man. This can go in a lot of bad directions.
Yeah, I don't remember anything from CES
Yeah.
last year. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff.
No.
So.
What kind of stuff goes? Is that usually technology type stuff?
Yeah, CES. It's
Yeah.
consumer electronics.
Oh, probably electronics. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could be anything. It could be some kind of. Could be anything. Anything that has electronic devices in it is eligible to be at CES.
Okay.
They demonstrate car technologies and phones and anything you could think of.
So it could be some kind of phone.
It could be. It could be a health device. It could be anything.
Oh, maybe that sounds familiar. Maybe it's like a Fitbit. And
I feel like they might have a category for that though now.
yeah, but maybe this was a Fitbit.
Unfit bit.
Oh yeah. Definitely. And it shouts at you if you're not moving enough.
Are you guys locked in?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
said the unfit bit.
All right. Well, this we think is actually for your bits.
yes, I'm going to explain this poorly, but I believe I heard on a radio show when I was driving home from work that it was an adult product, a sexual product, and vibrator, and they did not know where to put it in the.
That is a different problem than the categories.
But they didn't know where to place it in.
It's not getting any better.
Our answer is vibrator.
Vibrator and adult products. They didn't know. They didn't know where to put the booth in the conference center.
You're right.
That's right.
Yeah, as Neal so eloquently stated, Laura DiCarlo makes female sex toys for women. This American Life did a whole thing on it, which might have been what you heard recently. It is a feat in engineering, and I recommend everyone check it out because it is very educational.
All right.
Question 10. Speed it up. An experiment begun in 1927 at the University of Queensland in Brisbane demonstrated that some substances which appear solid are, in fact, highly viscous fluids. What is the two-word informal name of this experiment, which is the longest continuously running laboratory experiment in the world? The word experiment does not appear in the answer.
I'm just going to guess.
Okay.
Go ahead, guys.
So they basically have like pitch or tar,
Okay.
and it's just dripping. That's all it's doing.
Yeah.
And they just monitor the flow rate, and it's very slow. Like
Okay.
it's like stalactite,
Slow flow.
stalagmite kind of stuff. Yeah.
Ric Flair drip.
I don't know where you can go with that. It's I think it's tar or something like
Okay.
that, some kind of like pitch. But I have no idea what the
So-
informal name of the experiment's called.
Well, we locked in with tar trap. I don't know what that means.
We're going to go with state shift.
All right, Jeff, you said all of the right words. It is the pitch drop experiment. Since 1927, the pitch has dropped 9 times. It was in the news in 2013 because it was about to drop again, and it was really anticlimactic, but I believe they still have a webcam on it.
They do. Yeah.
That's
Sounds-
something that Jeff would watch. 100%.
The one thing we can control in the studio here is when the bass drops.
Blah, 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 blah. All right.
All right.
Well, looks like we're at 70 points. How about you
Fastest
guys?
way to cut away from a joke. Oh,
70.
yep.
All right. It's all tied up.
Parody.
We might all have to hug each other.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be a very
Oh,
special
be tied?
Yeah. If it
I
is a
like
tie,
that.
then it's got to be a quad hug.
Tie
for
goes
sure.
to the hugger.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know if that means anything. Hey, let's go to the swing round. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
It is. All right. There's a line in the song about book burning, and this week marks the beginning of Banned Books Week. So what I have are 10 books that have been banned for certain definitions of the word banned in different places, libraries, countries. Just these are books that have been made inaccessible. I'm going to give you the year it was published, the genre of the book, and a quick reason for the ban.
Okay.
Number 1, 1963 children's literature was banned because it was too dark, because it could be traumatizing due to the protagonist's inability to control his emotions. Number 2, 1947 nonfiction was banned for depictions of curiosity about the female body and homosexual tendencies. Number 3, 1993 young adult fiction was banned for depictions of infanticide and sexual awakening. There's a theme. Number 4, 1987 puzzle book. If you look very closely on the edge of a page, you can see a tiny dot that was supposed to be a nipple. Number 5, 1948 short story was banned in apartheid-era South Africa because they understood the short story was not saying nice things about blindly following tradition. Number 6, 1957 novel was published in Italy because it was refused publication by the USSR. It romanticized the pre-revolution upper class and degraded peasants and workers. Number 7, 2011 fan fiction, banned for intense sexual situations and fears that impressionable teens might try it. Number 8, 411 BCE, it's a play. It was considered obscene in AD 66 and then was banned in 1873 due to offensive themes about the power of women. 9, 1903 Russian propaganda. It is astoundingly anti-Semitic. It is a literary hoax. Hitler was a big fan, and so are modern Nazis. And 10, 1852, it is a novel. Defenders of slavery took exception to its depictions and claimed it was inaccurate.
All right. So we've had some time to think, and we've got our answers. But before we give them, we'd like to just quickly remind everybody about our store. Right, Neal?
Yeah, that's right. Our friend Taylor over at inkedandscreened.com is our official supplier of merchandise. And you can go there. You can get some great items, some T-shirts. There's some new things, though, that are entering the store. New designs, some new totes. There is a limited edition T-shirt that you can only get with a promo code discounted offer from our Bloodsport series. So if you check out the YouTube, the live version.
The YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
We're 100 years old.
Yeah, the YouTubes,
I
yes.
got my tote bag. I'm on the YouTubes.
You can get the code there. But what's also great is if you're a Patreon supporter at the United States level or higher, you also get a percentage off code, 25% off all merchandise. So
Maybe you're just looking for something with our classic logo. You already have a Triviality t-shirt, but you know what?
Got to get that tote.
We're getting into that fall season,
Oh,
winter
yeah.
season.
Ooh,
Triviality hoodie sounds good
a little
about
chilly.
now.
That's
Jeff
right.
and I were just on the phone with Taylor, who's been awesome. They have been making leggings for a yoga event, and we talked about maybe getting a pair of leggings, Triviality leggings.
Just one pair,
I'd wear
though.
'em.
They're
Wear 'em.
$5,000.
Yeah, right. If we do put them in the store and at least 10 people buy them, I will wear them in the studio for recording, and Ken will too.
Did we ever put up
Sounds
that
good.
picture of you wearing that one Triviality shirt that was 3 sizes too small?
We did, and people were disappointed it didn't look as bad. I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what Tara said. Tara Whittle. So
All right. Well, let's get to the answers.
All right, number 1, 1963 children's literature, Too Dark. What did y'all say?
Yeah, this was tough for me and Neal over at Cherry Pie. We haven't read this book, but we think it's dark. Flowers for Algernon.
Yeah, we couldn't quite remember which one this one was. We know it appears on quite a few banned book lists for whoever knows nebulous reasons. We said To Kill a Mockingbird.
All right, it is Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
The children's book.
I can see it now.
He does go to bed without supper. Kind of dark.
He does, yeah. Number 2, 1947 nonfiction, Curiosity of the Female Body and Homosexual Tendencies. Oh no, what'd you guys say?
I believe this one is the Diary of Anne Frank.
Oh, really? We didn't know. We guessed something in the early. Actually, I don't know. How did we come to this one?
You said a thing and I agreed.
We took a guess. We said The Feminine Mystique.
Ooh, no, it was Diary of Anne Frank. 3, 1993 young adult fiction, Infanticide and Sexual Awakening.
We've talked about this one on the show a couple times. We think it might be The House on Mango Street.
Oh, that's a good answer. This is a book that I've read a lot, and it's not the right answer. We said Animorphs.
Nope, it was The Giver.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that totally makes sense.
I forgot about the infanticide in that.
I thought that
do too.
I thought that book was earlier for sure.
No,
But I
it's
guess
Lowry, right? Lois Lowry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wrote a couple sequels that were not as good,
The Taker.
but that one has held up.
Yeah, I love The Giver.
4, 1987 puzzle book. If you look close, you can see a nipple.
We said, Where's Waldo?
We're also looking for Waldo.
It was Where's Waldo?
All right.
Oh, man. I thought we were just joking, but that's great.
It's either that or I Spy, which would be
That's
a
what we
funnier
said, yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the beach scene. 1948 short story, Banned in Apartheid South Africa. I enjoyed listening to y'all discuss this. I don't know what you landed on.
Yeah, we thought this was probably something that didn't have to do with apartheid or South Africa at all, but was probably just like a tale about standing out from the crowd. We couldn't really come up with a good answer, but we said Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay.
Interesting. We were thinking who was writing short stories in that time frame that are maybe slightly contentious, so we just thought of the first Hemingway short story we could think of. We said Snows of Kilimanjaro.
Not a bad guess. No, it was Shirley Jackson's The Lottery.
Oh, yeah.
It was about blindly following tradition and everyone being horrified by it.
I don't know that book at all.
I think it's all available online. It's worth a read. 6, 1957 novel, published in Italy because it was refused publication by the USSR.
We discussed Dr. Zhivago, War and Peace, and we didn't think those were correct, and we actually landed on Anna Karenina.
Ooh.
We didn't know. We kind of were just thinking of books
books,
and books that kind of fit that theme, and we said Animal Farm.
All right, you guys said it and then didn't go with it. It was Dr. Zhivago.
Man,
We are not doing well.
I didn't think that
So would that be a lean score?
yeah, it's a lean score. I didn't feel that Dr. Zhivago fit that theme all that well, but okay.
Full disclosure, I haven't read it. That's just what Wikipedia told me.
I mean, I've seen the movies.
They took some liberties from what
Maybe I don't remember it correctly.
Oh, yeah. Or I could be wrong. It happens, but you guys are wrong more than I am. So,
We are very wrong on that question.
number 7, 2011 fan fiction, where impressionable young teenagers might try what was written about in the book.
I've tried everything in that book, and it's 50 Shades of Grey.
The Whip, too?
Yeah.
And the Nene?
It's fan fiction of the greatest book ever written, Twilight. The answer is 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. My mom gave me that book to read. I did not read it.
Can anybody explain to me
That's a
how
weird recommend.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a fanfic of Twilight when it doesn't share any characters or themes?
No,
Well-
the original fan fiction, their names were from their Twilight characters.
But they were just totally different characters with the same names?
No, I mean they were vampires and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, Christian Grey is just Edward Cullen and
Yeah.
kind of his controlling nature over Bella.
Bella.
All right. Thanks for explaining.
I think when she wanted to get it published, she realized that she had to make some tweaks.
Yeah, and I don't think it was available at CES.
Please don't say tweak right now.
Sorry. Number 8, 411 BC, considered obscene in AD 66 and 1873 again due to offensive themes about the power of women.
Yeah, I believe this is right. I could be wrong. It was a play Colleen was in. She played the title character. It's a really cool storyline about women giving up sex to force men to stop fighting and not have any wars. And I believe it's Liz Estrada.
We went a slightly different direction, a much funnier tragedy. One woman in particular had quite a lot of power. We said Oedipus Rex.
Oh, yeah, it was Liz Estrada.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Oedipus Rex, Oedipus the King, more importantly, I have to correct you this time,
Yeah.
is one of my favorite plays. So, yeah.
Neal's really into
I'm gonna gouge my ears out along with my eyes, just like Oedipus after
There
hearing
you
that
go.
one.
Number 9, 1903, Russian propaganda, astoundingly anti-Semitic.
We couldn't come up with this one. Unfortunately, we went with the incorrect answer of Mein Kampf, which was written by Hitler. So how could he be inspired by it?
Yeah. You'd be a big fan of it, though. We weren't 100% sure, so we said the classic Pride and Prejudice and Nazis.
All right. No, this one was kind of a deep cut. That work was called The Protocols of the Elders of Zion.
That's right.
And it is about a Jewish plot to take over the world. It's completely fabricated, but a lot of anti-Semitic people point towards it as the reason that they are anti-Semitic. So, yeah. Number 10, 1852 novel, Defenders of Slavery took exception to it because it was, quote, inaccurate.
Yep, this is another one where we had some trouble on it. We haven't read this book, but we know it has some themes of slavery, and we don't really know where it falls, but we went with Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's,
do we?
Frederick Douglass, right? Is that?
Harry Beecher Stowe
I'm close.
is the author.
No, that's not close at all.
I said I was close. But yeah, we said Uncle Tom's Cabin.
And it was Uncle Tom's Cabin. So ending on a high note.
Bull.
Nah.
All right.
Kind
well,
of.
that was rough. Let's get back to questions y'all know the answers to.
At the end of that round, Cherry Pie has a slight lead with 95 points. By Lemos lost a little ground with 85 points.
Sad. That's all I have.
Just let the rhythm take you over, man.
Yeah. I want to change my name now. Can we be Kiss from a Rose?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
why not?
All
Just
right.
change it.
We are now.
Round 2, question 1. The other night I dreamt of knives. Irma's injection is the name of a dream by what neurologist and pioneer of dream analysis? Despite what you may think, the dream had nothing to do with what is or is not a cigar.
Who's doing dreams?
Freddie-
Freud is a huge dream
Okay.
person.
Freddy Krueger.
Yes, Freddy Krueger is definitely doing dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo
maybe some-
DiCaprio in that one
maybe
movie.
some Carl Jung.
Hall and Oates.
Oh.
That's one guy, right? Holland Oates.
Yes. Get out of my dream. Right. Into my car.
That's a different guy, but yeah.
What are these cigars clues? It's about Bill Clinton?
Maybe.
Yes, famed dream analysis pioneer William Jefferson Clinton.
Well,
Is this,
knows his way
is
around
this
a cigar.
No Cigar by Millencolin?
That's a reference for no one. Do you want to say Freud?
Sure.
Yeah, Freud.
Yep, Freud.
It is Freud.
All right.
All that talk.
Much ado
Nothing.
about nothing.
Freud famously may have said sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Oh.
Poorly written reference to. Number 2, continental drift divide. Due to the action of plate tectonics, continents move around the planet at a rate of about 1 inch per year. Before they started to wander, the continents existed as one continuous landmass known by what name?
All right. I knew
Locked
one.
in.
Which time?
Oh, my God, Jeff. You're the worst.
The one that you're thinking of. Just write it down.
Just say the one.
Fine.
You are going to be kicked off of Pangea. You're no longer welcome.
I too said Pangea.
It is Pangea. I have a regular who is an earth science professor who asked me the exact same damn question. I told him the same thing. Like, just write down the one you know I want.
Godwanda is not acceptable as an answer.
No, just because you do it with attitude. Number 3, mountains sit in a line. The Salathe Wall, the Dawn Wall, Free Rider, and, often, Alex Honnold are found on what specific geologic feature, which is part of the Sierra Nevada mountains?
My inroad to this is really dumb, though. Okay.
We're locked in with your answer.
Do you know about this stuff?
Not really.
So the Alex Honnold is the free climber that they did that documentary about.
Free solo.
Free solo, yeah.
Yeah.
So free rider, I can't remember if that was the one he did in the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a different one. I don't know if she's looking for the name of the one that he did in the documentary or what kind of feature it is. But either way, they're all rock faces that are climbable.
Oh, okay. Without that you have to climb without any.
No, not necessarily, but let's just say cliff face.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote down that tall, straight wall / cliff, mountains climbing.
Wait, the straight tall cliff?
Well, yes, very famous to Sierra Nevada. And,
There are a couple.
Okay, well, that would have helped if we talked it out, but we didn't. So we didn't know. So what did you write down?
So one of the features I'm pretty confident people are attracted to in the Sierra Nevadas is Half Dome. So we said Half Dome.
All right, so you were on the right track with Half Dome. It's El Capitan.
Where I was trying to go with this is the last 6 Mac OS releases are all Sierra Nevada based.
Oh.
So they have like the background for one is going to be Half Dome. El Capitan
That
was like
one.
the
Yeah.
OS 10.
Gotcha.
Like 0.7 release or 8 release, something like that.
Fair enough.
So I was just trying to go through all those because I knew they were just basically shooting stuff in their backyard at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, screwed that one up. So, oh well.
I had no idea, so it's fine with me.
Question 4. Leonard Bernstein is credited with the modern revival of what Austro-Bohemian romantic composer? In 1960, Bernstein conducted the New York Philharmonic for a festival to celebrate the centenary of the composer's birth. And on November 23, 1963, he conducted this composer's Resurrection Symphony as a memoir for JFK.
I wrote somebody, but he's not.
I believe he's Italian.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know if I'll come up with anyone better than that.
I have a couple other guesses.
Write them down, and I'll circle the one I like.
And then I'll pull a Neal. If it's wrong,
It's my fault, yeah.
Wagner, Brahms, Gershwin.
Yeah, it's interesting you say Gershwin because I know in Manhattan.
I say Gershwin's American, right?
I think
Is he born
yeah.
in New York?
But I'm just thinking of. For some reason, I thought like Bernstein conducted a symphony
That
for
seems
Manhattan.
like it would fit in well with Bernstein's repertoire, but
Yeah, but no, that I'd rather. Yeah, we're going with someone I think who's not American, so that makes
Wagner?
sense. Yeah.
Wagner.
We had thought about Wagner, but ultimately we settled on Liszt. So
Well, unfortunately, no points. I think Bernstein's efforts to revive this artist did not go far enough. It was Gustav Mahler.
one that Ken is always trying to. We've mentioned him before, but for other things where we can't remember who he is or what he does. So that's pretty fitting.
Number 5, Leonid Brezhnev. In 1964, a plot led to the installation of Leonid Brezhnev as the General Secretary of the Soviet Union. Although this appointment was meant to be temporary, Brezhnev held the office until his death in 1982. He replaced which Russian politician who was responsible for the Soviet space program and the de-Stalinization of the Soviet Union?
This is a good game for Ken, I feel like. He's been on top of these.
Okay. I'm gonna do something that I would normally ask of Neal. Can you think of any movies or film that would have taken place in the or around the 1950s?
No.
About
Russia?
Well, that would have had the Soviet leader in there because we're looking for the leader between Stalin and Brezhnev. But
that movie about the.
But I can't remember.
No, I don't know.
We can whiff. I mean.
Yep. We don't know.
Ken will get mad if I sit here for 20 minutes.
All right.
Correct.
Well, I think Jeff was. This is so funny because it is because of a movie,
Yeah.
The Death of Stalin. Malenkov took over after Stalin briefly, and then I believe he was replaced by Khrushchev, and then Brezhnev, I believe. So
Yeah.
Khrushchev.
That makes sense.
Khrushchev is correct.
Wow, did you hear all that stuff I knew about Russian politics?
That was good stuff.
Wow.
Who is the
Proud of
famous
you.
Russian politician with the
Jeffrey Tambor.
So the movie I was trying to think of
Yeah,
actually
fair
was is it 13 Days?
Yeah, that's
'Cause-
with JFK.
Because
Yeah,
Khrushchev is still around then. 'Cause
yeah,
that
that's Kevin Costner. Yeah,
yeah. They talk about that because obviously he's deploying troops to Cuba.
Who was
Part
the
of
Russian
Cuban Missile
politician?
Crisis.
I'm trying to think of that had the birthmark that dealt with like Reagan.
Gorbachev.
Gorbachev. Oh, yeah, that's right. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Thank
They
you.
haven't done a Gipper in a while.
Y'all done?
Yep.
We're never
All
done.
right. I didn't want to step on you. Number 6, Lenny Bruce. We learned in round 1 that Lenny Bruce was not afraid of being convicted of obscenity. The phrase "I know it when I see it" was written in a 1964 Supreme Court case about the definition of obscenity. Who was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court at that time? He was governor of California before his elevation, and he presided over the court from 1953 to 1969. His name has become almost synonymous with the major leaps in civil rights and liberties in American law.
Okay, we're locked in.
I'm so bad with Supreme
Ken
Court
was too busy
justices.
focusing on Russian politics to think of American ones.
You go ahead with.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just trying to think of someone who was around that time. I wrote down Marshall, Thurgood Marshall, but I don't.
We can say that. I really have no idea.
I don't
about
either.
That time range. So
It's one of two. We narrowed it down to. I can't remember which one it is. We couldn't remember if it was the Burger Court or the Warren Court, and we went Burger.
Oh, should have gone Warren.
Oh, no.
Earl Warren.
isn't the Burger Court a nice restaurant down at the mall?
I'm not feeling up for jokes anymore, Ken.
and if you're unsure of what combo you should get, you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. I will tip my hat to you, sir. Number 7. Lester Bangs is name-checked in the song There's Nothing Wrong with Hating Rock Critics by what indie pop band that, somewhat deceptively, is actually based in Athens, Georgia?
So who'd you say, the Killers?
Maybe.
I think they're from Vegas.
Oh. Yeah, I think you're right. All right, we're going to lock in.
Okay, so I originally wrote of Montreal because that would be ironic if they were from Athens and they were of Montreal. But I know that Manchester Orchestra is from Athens, Georgia, and you would think they might be from Manchester, which I did the first time I saw them open for Brand New, and they did not have British accents. So we're going to lock in with Manchester Orchestra.
And we just said the Strokes.
You guys, Matt and Jeff, are hurting yourselves. The answer was of Montreal.
I've never even heard of that band, so.
They're semi big, I think. I think they were on Saddle Creek for a while with some of those other bands.
Question 8, category birthday party cheesecake. What California-based ice cream company has among its 26-ish flavors birthday cake and strawberry cheesecake? This company's heavenly hook is that a pint of their ice cream contains between 240 and 360 calories.
We can lock in.
Good.
I know Blue Bunny is ice cream, but the one that has low caloric count, I believe, is
Skinny Cow.
Skinny Cow. Yeah.
You can go Skinny Cow.
Oh, but you said that these were heavenly, and when I think of heavenly, I think of Halo Top.
Oh,
I believe it's Halo Top.
It is Halo Top.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
have
want a
pulled
high
that,
five.
but when he said it, I was like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's really
I
good.
ate a pint of it all by myself last week when I got offered a new job. It was totally worth it.
Oh, congratulations.
Great.
I'm
Yeah.
eating the ice cream. Good job.
Yeah. Number 9, jelly bean. In the slang of the 1910s and 20s, a jelly bean referred to a man who dressed stylishly but had little else of substance. In 1920, 5 years before he published his most famous work, which American author published a short story called The Jelly Bean?
What did you think you were on to over there?
Yeah, you're a jelly bean.
What a great insult.
I think I talked to a lady on the phone who was so old that she still had the transatlantic accent the other day. Sounded like Katharine Hepburn
Oh, at work?
at work, yeah.
Well, I'm going to need you to carve the tree there.
Come clean my gutters.
Clean my gutters, please. And I don't mean in a sexual manner. What was the second?
Cary Grant told me I had a nice pair of gams.
And then I cooked him some yams.
So this was 5 years before their most famous work. It was a short story written in 1920. That's what you needed to know.
Okay. And what was the type of author you said? That's what I wanted to hear.
American.
That might fit.
All right,
Yeah.
we're locked in.
All right, whose most famous work would be in 1925?
Is that like the jungle era? What am I looking at here?
Of books? I don't know. 1925. Things were going great on Wall Street, right? Everyone was feeling good.
1925.
The era-
Before the crash.
Yeah. the era of good
Is that an F.
feelings.
Scott Fitzgerald, Great Gatsby kind of a thing?
I originally thought Gatsby.
Ooh,
but
well, we can go Gatsby.
Oh, do we need the
Or
word?
the author?
No, author.
Then we'll go F. Scott Fitzgerald.
All right.
Good guess, old
We
sport.
were thinking of somebody who might want to punch out a jelly bean. Hemingway.
All right, well, the good news for Matt and Jeff is y'all did not cross out the right answer this time. It was Fitzgerald.
Yay.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
We've been good at that lately.
I'd love to see Ernest Hemingway drunk yelling at a jelly bean in his office.
With all his six-toed cats.
And number 10, boom. Beginning in February of 1964, a U.S. city endured over 1,200 sonic booms as the FAA ran tests to determine how a city would be affected by a barrage of such booms. The city was greatly affected and testing ceased 6 months later. However, the legacy endures. This city's professional sports team and a drive-in restaurant headquartered there have names that may or may not allude to these tests. What is that city?
Oh,
Locked in.
it's too much.
So it's Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wait.
They're like
Sonic.
blowing windows out of houses. Bad. That's
Yeah.
how, yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
we
go
said
well.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh, you both said Seattle? That's unfortunate. The answer is Oklahoma City.
So I wrote Oklahoma City,
No.
and then I got caught up on Sonics, and they moved to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Sonic is headquartered in Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Is it? Interesting.
Score.
And I say may or may not be because I've heard the stories both way. I couldn't find hardcore validation either way, whether it was actually like the Thunder and Sonic were named for the Sonic Boom testing, but I like the story, so I asked the question.
Fair enough.
The stakes are high going into the final round because it appears we're both tied at 125. This should be fun.
Your final categories are It's Time I Had Some Time Alone. 2, It's the End of the World as We Know It. 3, It's the End of the World as We Know It. 4, It's the End of the World as We Know It. And 5, And I Feel Fine.
I do not feel fine.
Okay, all the wagers are in at this time, so let's get the questions.
Question 1, It's Time I Had Some Time Alone. When the Post Malone song Take What You Want debuted at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 this week, its featured artist took the record for longest gap between Billboard Hot 100 top 10 songs. This artist, whose last top 10 hit was in 1989, saw his career take off after he went solo in 1979 when his previous band fired him. Who is that artist? Number 2, It's the End of the World as We Know It. The Hollow Men is a 1925 poem that has nothing to do with cats, but that gave us the line, "This is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but a whimper." What poet penned these words?
God damn it.
Number 3, It's the End of the World as We Know It. The End of the World was a 2003 viral video that if you don't remember it, you should drop what you're doing and go watch it. This video ended with a harsh criticism of what animal, which appears on national coats of arms and currency? Number 4, It's the End of the World as We Know It. REM disbanded in September of 2011 after a prolific and Hall of Fame-worthy career. Their song, What's the Frequency, Kenneth, is being re-released this year for its 25th anniversary. The title references a 1986 incident when what high-profile journalist was assaulted by someone repeatedly asking him that question. Number 5, And I Feel Fine. Tomorrow, I shall no longer be here, are the last words of what astrologer who lived in the 1500s. Say what you will about the rest of his work, his prediction was correct, and he died that night.
All right, we'll think about the answers, and we'll be right back. All the answers are locked in, and again, it's been a tight game. It's tied right now, 125 to 125, so let's see how these shook out.
All right, it's time I had some time alone. Which artist who went solo after his band fired him in 1979 now holds the record for longest gap between Billboard Top 10 hits?
All right, so spoilers, we bet 10 all the way down. So for this first one, I just had a hunch it might be Lionel Richie.
Ah, we wagered 15 all the way down, so a little bit more there. I'm pretty sure that this is someone who was fired from Black Sabbath in 1979 and had his own hits in 1989. I think this is Ozzy Osbourne.
It is Ozzy Osbourne. Current events. Number 2, It's the End of the World as We Know It. Not with a bang, but a whimper. What poet wrote that?
Again, for 10, we think you said something about cats here, and Neal said, well, if it has to do with cats, probably T.S. Eliot.
Yeah. I don't remember why I would know that particularly, but we settled on T.S. Eliot.
Y'all picked up on the hint. That is T.S. Eliot. Nothing to do with cats. Number 3, The End of the World was a 2003 viral video. It ended with a harsh criticism of what animal?
And it was difficult to bring this to the surface of my memory because it's been a while since I've seen this one, but I think he says something about kangaroos or something like that. So we said kangaroos for 10.
Yeah, so this, I was really trying to think of which one this was, and I'm pretty sure it's the one where they all shoot nuclear missiles at each other and Australia's off by itself, and then at the end he's just mad about the kangaroos, so we said kangaroos.
Kangaroos is correct. I rewatched it when I was writing this question, and it holds up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dame.
This is this is the one where the French say "I'm lit tired," right?
I'm lit tired, yeah.
That's where it comes from.
Well, have a nap and then fire missiles. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I do know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way. Y'all are not that much younger than me. There's no way you missed this.
We have all seen it, yes.
Yeah. We had time in computer lab in middle school.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's good.
Number 4. It's the end of the world as we know it. What's the frequency Kenneth references a 1986 incident when what high-profile journalist was accosted by a man asking him that question? Who is that journalist?
Being a Ken, I would be remiss if I did not know it was Dan Rather.
This is one that we went back and forth on because we always pick the wrong guy when we're between Tom Brokaw and Dan Rather, but this time we went with Dan Rather.
All right. And I feel fine. Tomorrow I shall no longer be here. Who said that right before he died?
I'm going to try to say this after this game and see if it works. But I think the guy who was always predicting is Nostradamus.
Yeah, we said famed predictor, maybe not always right, Nostradamus.
And Nostradamus is correct. Nice work.
I predict that we have lost this game, but...
Hold on, wait for the math.
But let's do the final tallies.
We did get them all right, so...
Oh, you were perfect that round. Yeah, you're right.
We're perfect every round, Neal.
Nope.
Not in answering, but...
And I've crunched the numbers here. It looks like we at Cherry Pie have measly 155, whereas Kiss by the Rose, is that what you went with? Kiss by a Rose?
Yes.
We changed to, yeah. Celebrating our bicentennial over here.
With 200, you're the cream of the crop.
I am the cream.
Feels
Wait.
good.
But you know what? The joke's on you, because me and Neal, we're going to get some loving from each other.
Yeah. Yeah, we will.
I'm okay with it.
We'll make sure the video cuts away before any of that happens.
And of
Or
course,
we'll keep it. Patreon bonus
keep it.
exclusives are nuts, so
Yeah.
please join our Patreon.
and of course, we all love Erin here as well, and we love that she wrote a game for us today, and it was great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. This was fun.
And we're always happy to have you
Sending you
Skyping
some...
in, or if you're visiting, have you in the studio.
Yeah.
So before we let you go, is there anything else you wanted to mention?
Sure. Myself and my co-host Brent Bollmeyer host a sports trivia podcast. It is exactly what it sounds like. So if that appeals to you, check us out on wherever you get your podcasts. And if you ever happen to be in the Richmond, Virginia area, I host a weekly trivia game. I play test these questions with my regulars, so I appreciate them for letting me do this. And also, if you happen to ever get in trouble in Virginia, give me a call, because that's my day job, is defending people who get in trouble in Virginia.
We know so many lawyers
As
now.
a superhero. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like across the United States that we have we've amassed a network where we can get in trouble almost anywhere and have some support.
Carte blanche.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not rich enough for carte blanche, but
Well, I
Part blanche.
I do intend to get in trouble nationally. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good goal.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again to Erin. Thank you to my co-hosts Neal, Jeff, and Matt. My name's Ken. That was Triviality.
would that make you Ken, National Man of Mystery?
That's right. He's trying to prove me wrong that Hugh Laurie was on the show.
He was not, just for the record. I was just curious. I didn't remember him being in it. So I was like...
Real-time mansplaining from Jeff.
Jeff is a blackadder. I don't know what a blackadder is, but it sounds like Jeff.
For sure.
Has less venom than me.
Let's get back to the question.
Hold on. Correction. Hugh Laurie was not on that show, but whatever. All right. Question 4, please.